They have him operate. If you care about your shoulders, knees, he can do it all. Robotic, the old-fashioned way. The guy is incredible. 25 years taking care of Bay County athletes. Nobody does that anymore. No one's ever done that in the past. A doctor giving up that much time. The one and only Chad Mitchell. Call, make an appointment. He'll see you. If any problems, go see Chad. Go to the best. Listen to him every Monday right here on ESPN Northwest Florida. Also, don't forget about Dr. Ward. We listen to him every Wednesday, 7:30. 1 in 5 develop skin cancer. It can be deadly, especially if you're a woman. They got to deal with skin cancer, breast cancer. That's two things they really got to keep an eye on. Skin cancer can be taken care of with Dr. Ward. Offices throughout the Panhandle of Florida. 5 minutes checkup can save your life. The guy is incredible. Maxwell Sports Nutrition. We got Jason here today. Paparazzi Pizza, the best pizza you'll get anywhere. But not only they got great pizza, they got a great deli. They got a great bakery. They got a bar in there. They got everything. Paparazzi Pizza on Thomas Drive. We'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Colin Cowherd.
Aaron needs a third act. You do not want to be remembered. Favre had success in Minnesota. Peyton Manning wins a Super Bowl in Denver. Tomlin wins in Tampa. You're known as a quarterback that leaves Green Bay, and the Packers the next year are better without you, and you bomb in New York.
The Herd with Colin Cowherd. Weekdays, ESPN Northwest Florida.
Bendian's Best Moves is a local moving company in Panama City, providing reliable services to the families and businesses in our community. Coveted for the long list of services they provide, experts at what they do, and they do it all from start to finish. The pros at Bendian's Best Moves have moved doctors, attorneys, pastors, schools, small businesses, the federal government, and they can move you too. For the best moving experience, it's Bendian's Best Moves. Call now, 850-583-0814.
Bringing the world's #1 auto brand is a lot of fun. Camrys and Tacomas, Land Cruisers and Grand Highlanders. Toyotas are just built to be better.
And that's exactly how we built Panama City Toyota, to give you a better experience.
Where your needs always come first. Where you can relax with a great cup of coffee or browse the Heritage Collection. Or we help you add the perfect vehicle to your collection. Come see us today at Panama City Toyota.
Whether you're an experienced investor or first-time buyer, Beach House will provide you with top-notch service to guide you through every step of the process. We make the real estate process fun and easy through effective marketing, strategic advertising, and always a client-focused experience. From single-family homes to full-scale developments, Beach House Sales Development has you covered. Check them out at beachhousesalesfl.com or give them a call at 850-919-3500.
And here we go.
The #1 SEC call-in show is now twice as big. The Paul Feinbaum Show. Weekday evening 6 to 10. Now back to the Coach James Hale Show on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back. Florida State, Florida State, Florida State. Woo! FSU updates brought to you by Newbies. We got 4 great locations. Newbies 2 on the Curve. That's where you can watch all sporting events. Head on down to the Mothership. Spring break kicks in this weekend. They will be starting to get packed out at all 4 of the Newbies. The one over in St. Andrews, beautiful blue facility. It's people really like it over there. Go have a great time there if you don't want to come over to the beach. But John and Charlotte always give back to the community. Let's make sure we support them. Love Kathy, Will, great people down there. Denise, one of our former trainers down there, great people. I do want, Jason, I don't know if you remember, I don't know if you were on here today. We had Bill Solomon on. He was a former superintendent in the great state of Missouri, one of their tops in the entire state. So if you're the top there, you're probably one of the top in the country. Yeah. I think he is anyway. That's incredible. I'd like to get his opinion on this other thing I'm getting ready to bring up here in a second. Kay Povalakis, I think I said it right, might not have. She works at Arnold. She's down at Petronas. She does a wonderful job down there. One of the great people that I'm thinking of greatness today. But I want to go back to Bill, and I want both of you guys' input. And think about this, because we got people we like a lot that I don't agree with what this one thing's going on. Bay District schools, they're talking about this cultural exchange program to hire foreign teachers. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm against this. Pay the teachers what they deserve to be paid. South Walton is the #1 school district in the state. Do you see that?
Yeah, I didn't read it, but I saw the post.
Yeah. You can get foreign people come here and pay them a lot less than and probably get away with it. And I'm not saying they're doing that, but maybe they are doing that. I don't know.
I'd have to understand what the full
Why do we want
is.
foreigners coming here teaching?
I understand, learning a different culture or something, using them as a teacher exchange student type thing, but who knows? I mean, I don't know enough about it to be commenting, so I'm just going to...
Well, I'm a teacher.
No, you are.
I think I was, he was. You are. You're a teacher. You teach all the time. Your mother was.
Yeah, she was.
I don't know. Let's go recruit American teachers to come teach our kids, and let's pay them well. I think you pay them well, you can get them, and I know there's not a lot of money going around. I know that.
Actually, there is. They just steal a lot of it.
It's just going the wrong direction.
That's
going in the wrong pockets.
But that's not the local people. This is
no. But it comes down from the state, federal budgets and stuff like that. If you invest in schools, facilities, and teachers, you're going to have a better outcome with your children. I mean, that's just a fact. So the fact that we pay our teachers so little, and you're not attracting the people that you want to be teachers. I mean, most of you guys do it because of the love of kids, you know what I'm saying? But if you incentivize it and pay teachers, $75,000, $100,000 a year that they can live on, don't feel like they stress their lives over, you're going to attract some of the top people in the country. So,
but that's true. What you're saying is true. But also, from doing it almost 40 years myself, you can't do that job if you don't like doing it.
No, for sure. Yeah.
You can't just do it because, hey, I'm making $75,000. I mean, that's all well and good. But that $75,000 doesn't help you stand in front of a class of kids.
No, yeah.
And do whatever it is that you're doing.
But if you're looking at, say, hey, I want to go be a dentist or a doctor,
no, you're right.
And I'm saying, okay, I'd rather be a teacher, but it just doesn't pay enough. That's going to incentivize those people to be a teacher.
Oh, there's no question.
There's a lot of people out there that can educate, that love to educate, that love the kids, that are in it for the right reasons, but they also have to make money and support their families. So
now, I do like this, that if the ones they're looking at are highly qualified, English-speaking, the top, not some average Joe just to fill the job. They're going after the best. Now, that part I really like.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know without all the information. It could be like an exchange type thing where, maybe we're sending teachers from America over to other countries. They send some of their people over and we learn about their cultures, some of the things they educate their kids on. I don't necessarily think it's a bad thing. I just don't know enough about it to make a big comment.
I'm kind of like Jason. I don't know enough about it to have a real opinion.
We'll just have to see how it plays out.
Yeah, I just see what's happening at colleges, other countries.
That's disgraceful.
Influence on our country and our college students. China.
I agree.
So I don't trust all this. But anyway, I'm different than you two. Let's get great Americans. I tell it like I think it. We got great American teachers. Let's go recruit those and bring those in here.
I agree with that first and foremost. We need to do that first.
Let's bring America first, okay? Are we not listening to what Trump's been saying? But anyway, I will say this. I like that they're going after the most highly qualified you can get. Right. That's a great thing. And I'm not saying that there wouldn't be great teachers. I just, I think if you pay more, but you got to have the money to pay it. I get that too. So they're in a tough position. Who am I to question anything they do? We try to support you in everything.
You'll do it every day, though.
Yeah, we do it. We try to support them every way we possibly can. But that one, maybe I would rethink. Maybe we get Jerry on here or Steve in one day, or maybe not on the air, and just kind of get an insight what's going on with this. But we'll keep it on this. That's something different. Golly, that was one other thing. Yeah, Bill, I'd like to ask Bill about that because he was the superintendent. Unbelievable, highly decorated superintendent. We had him on the show before, and he has a good insight because they think differently. They got to think of the whole picture,
right?
And we sometimes think athletically and what's best for us, and superintendents got to think what's best for the entire thing. But right now, I will say this: there's a shortage in teachers. There's a shortage in administrators. So you got to do something.
That may be where the
well, there's a lot of people looking for jobs now. They're highly qualified,
right.
So maybe they'll have to get a job and actually work.
Do you actually have to come to work, or can you do it from home?
Well, that's what we're working on. That
okay.
We're working on that.
They're gonna stay at home.
Can you believe that they don't want to come to work? What has happened?
COVID.
I get
They changed a lot of
I'm
things.
sorry, I went off the rails there. I'm sorry.
That could lead in some other things.
Yeah, I know.
All right, let me ask you this, Mr. Jim Bob Durant. What do you have on the mighty Florida State Seminoles today?
I heard.
Are they looking for foreign coaches?
I think so.
Yeah.
They're going to South Alabama. I forgot what I was going to say.
What?
Anyway,
wait a minute. You got a call. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, gentlemen. How are you doing? Last night's ball game at Bozeman was good. Your cohort there was sitting there right close to us. What a good game. Really enjoyed it, and I look forward to seeing more this year. And I am sitting at Walsingham. Will be reading this morning to students. It's Celebrity Reading Day, and I'm not one of those.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Jerry Rester, school board super. Unbelievable.
No, I just want to talk to you about the hiring of those folks.
Yeah, set us straight now.
I'm not going. I don't know enough. It was a 4-1 vote. I voted against it. I just didn't feel too good about it. Basically, what I know is when we hire these people, and by the way, they're supposed to be really qualified, plus our superintendent says there are quite a few districts throughout the state that's doing it, but I think we haven't signed a contract yet. That's one thing. The next thing is I think we were going to hire the first phase, whatever, up to 10, okay? And we're going to pay this group that does it $13,000 per teacher. So that means that whatever their salary is, how long they've been teaching, or if they're a new teacher, et cetera, we would add what did I say, 15,000 to what they're making basically.
Yeah.
But I'll be honest with you. The reason I didn't vote for it is I just didn't feel good about it, not knowing enough about it. So, I'm sure those folks who come here probably are good folks. They're good teachers. But, I think basically the reason why districts do it is because we're down in teachers. I'm one of those who is pro-teacher.
Yeah.
Without them,
yes, you are.
We just don't. We're nothing. But look, we need to continue paying them more and more because let me tell you, if it wasn't for them, our country would be in a real bad fix.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's all I know about it basically, and I'm sure we'll know more about it in the future.
Jerry, if they're making $13,500, they are legal, right? They're not illegal immigrants, right?
Hey, I think that's bottom. I think you know that. That's bottom line.
Tom Holman's not going to be visiting the classroom.
Math is canceled today.
Let me ask you this now, because the teachers are going to go, wait a minute. You're bringing people in here, you're not having to pay them hardly anything, and yet we don't get paid. We're not getting raises and stuff like that. You know what's going to be said.
I know. I
kind of agree with him now. I'm going to fight for the coaches and teachers. Why are we? But is it because you can't get enough teachers? Where they got a shortage? Is that the main thing?
I think basically that's it. Really, I do. I really do.
What's the teachers union have to say about that?
Well, I haven't talked to them yet, and
I'm sure they're going to be vocal.
They were at our meeting on Tuesday. Their representative was there, and I haven't heard from them. But I think we are just a very short distance into this process, and we'll see. I tried to call last week.
Wait a minute. No. We ain't letting you off the hook. Now, if they're going to make $13,500. Is that does the other people, the other countries pay the difference what they were making there, or how? I mean, how can you survive on $13,500?
No. It's 13 plus what they originally get. Okay, it will be our salary. We're paying the company who's dealing with these people that much money. Okay, so I don't know how much of that money, the 13 or whatever, did they get over and beyond their regular salary. They're gonna get the regular salary plus. I don't know if they're gonna get part of it, all of it, or if the company who is dealing with this. Dealing with the teachers coming in.
Okay.
So they'll make more money.
So they're going to make more money than teachers.
Good luck selling that one.
Yeah.
I know why you voted no now.
Yeah.
I agree.
The question, why the other four vote yes? That's the question.
I don't know. But look here, they're great folks. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But I'll be honest with you. I just didn't feel good about what we're dealing with. And it wasn't that I was really negative. I didn't feel too good. But if you let me just change the subject, I tried to call this week, and I was having to go in for a test that I couldn't stay on the line. But I wanted to talk about the famous principal of my good friend that we went to high school together, Janice, and my wife and I were in the same class. By the way, Joe Bullock, Brian Bullock's daddy was in the same class, but she has done a wonderful job. I saw her last week. I was visiting Cherry Street. That's her base school. And when the superintendent needs her to go to other schools throughout the district, he has her to go there. She fills in for, we call her, what is it, principal on call? But anyway, she has, through the years, at Arnold, then, of course, at Petronas, and I just want to say congratulations to her. And I think she has more years than any other administrator in the district.
What's it? Jerry's got to be 55 plus years, right?
I'm thinking, I know it's over 50.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, it is. But she's a good lady, and I enjoy it. Don't think she can't talk, but she can talk.
She can talk now.
Yeah.
She can talk.
Hey, she's a living legend. I said yesterday on the show, we donated this show to her. She's incredible. A living legend.
I think it was day before, yeah. I wanted to talk that day, but she's a good lady. I enjoy seeing her.
Well, I tell you what, Jerry.
Anyway,
you're right up there with her, man. We appreciate all the things you've done for a long career. Yeah, seriously, how long have you been on the school board now? How many years?
I'm in my 17th year.
Correct. And how many years were you all together? How many years all together?
Well, I had 30 years teacher, and I was principal at Southport 11 and a half years. That was 30. And then I ran in 2008 for the first time. And when I add these 20, I think that's 50 years. Not too many people can say that.
Yeah, and you don't have to do this. You do it because you love kids and love people, and you do the right thing. I've always said, when I ever paid attention to all the things you guys vote on, you always, I thought, always had the most common sense about everything. I really do.
I don't know about that, but I want to say, bottom line, my wife and I have been blessed, and I've had a great career. I still go all the time. I still do painting, and then just that still fish and hunt, and like last night at the ball game, I love supporting our kids and going. And I've got a special relationship with Cooper Moss. He's a great kid. I've known him way before his dad and I were on the board together. His sister, Madison. The family is a wonderful family.
Yes.
And one of these days, I'll tell you how he got his nickname, Honey Bun. But
Jerry, we got to go. We got to take a break. You want to hold on, or you got to go?
No, I'm at Washington. I'm going to read this morning, and I appreciate being on, and I appreciate what y'all do for local athletics.
Thank you, buddy. Love you, Jerry.
Take care. Have a good day.
The great one, Jerry Rester. We'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida. Here's what's happening.
It's that time of year again. The Women's Civic Club of Panama City Beach presents the Spring Fling Juried Arts and Crafts Show, Saturday, March 8th from 9 to 3 at Frank Brown Park Recreation Center. Donation is only $1 for adults, sponsored by the Women's Civic Club of Panama City Beach, a non-profit organization supporting charitable causes in Panama City Beach and ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good morning. This is Joanna on ESPN Northwest Florida with your forecast on this Friday. Sunshine this afternoon and evening with a moderate breeze around 13 miles per hour coming out of the west-southwest, and look for the high to be 69. Tonight, there will be mostly clear skies with the temperature reaching 58. Sunny tomorrow with a high of 70. Sunday will have a high of 65 and sunshine. This weather is sponsored by Mid-South Lumber, the best little lumber yard in Panama City. Thank you for keeping that dial at ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Hewitt Tire and Auto. Call 850-769-7323. Your certified AAA service center and hometown towing. Visit them online at HewittTire.com. On Airport Road in Panama City. 850-769-7323. Hewitt Tire and Auto Center and hometown towing.
Need a tow? Call Billy at Hometown Towing, 850-265-1562.
At Broadlawn and Pest Control, we're proud to be awarded the distinction of being Quality Pro certified.
Our technicians have passed rigorous training in eco-friendly application and prevention of pest treatments.
Part of the program is the practice of integrated pest management.
IPM's goal is to prevent pests from ever entering your home. It includes inspection, prevention, education, and, when necessary, application.
We're proud to be Quality Pro certified.
Broadlawn and Pest Control, the standard and level of trust.
Now back to the most dangerous radio show in the Gulf Coast. Coach James Hale. He's so dangerous, he doesn't even check his eggs at the grocery store.
Danger's my middle name.
I'm bad to the bone, honey.
2 tickets to the gun show.
We're live from the J. Michaels studio on ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Jim, we never got into the, I will say this, Jerry Resser, if you don't know him, that is a wonderful man. He's the most honest guy I know.
Yeah. Great baseball coach, right?
Yeah. I mean, he actually went to Southern Mississippi for.
No, he's a good man. He's an honest man.
Yeah.
That's why he probably voted no on that.
He's a great man.
At least he thought about it, and maybe we should need more information at the very least.
And Mr. Walsingham, he's over there at his school. We saw him. I told you we saw him at J. Michaels, the last living legend. The guy's incredible also. So I'm glad he's at Walsingham reading to the kids. And Jerry, you are a celebrity.
Yeah,
there's no doubt.
legend.
And we got one right beside me, Jim Brandt. What do you have on FSU?
Okay, I heard yesterday that Florida State is the only team that's ranked in the top 10 in baseball and softball. So they got that going. Florida State baseball won 9-6 over Jacksonville. The game was postponed till Wednesday. They have some games coming up. I got it here somewhere versus Georgetown, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. They always got those three game series like all college teams do. But they're 8-0. They're doing very well, but they haven't really played anybody yet. It's been pretty easy so far. Softball is 12-3. They won against Florida Gulf Coast. They have a doubleheader. And I'm not sure about how you do this. I had to look twice. I was like, am I seeing this right? They got a game at 3 o'clock today against Florida Gulf Coast, which is down in Fort Myers. And then they got a game at 5:30 against Mercer. So it's some kind of tournament they're playing, I guess, down there. So it got a doubleheader, but it's not against the same team. That was kind of interesting, I thought. And then the NFL Combine has started yesterday. And even though Florida State only won 2 games last year, they have 3 guys invited to the Combine. And one of them is, I got to be honest, I've played football, coached my whole life. I didn't know that they did this. They invited Florida State's kicker to the Combine.
Oh, wow, yeah.
So I don't know what exactly he does, what he would do. Hey, what's your hand size?
Right.
What's your vertical? I mean, what does he do?
What's your 40?
Glenn Manley, if you know, please call in. What do the kickers at the Combine do? But the kicker,
I would say kick.
But the kicker's name is Ryan Fitzgerald. He was 13 for 13 on field goals this year. One of the few guys that really had a good senior year or
really
a good year.
Yeah.
He's 58 out of 74 over his career. So he had a good career at Florida State. He really did. He's one of the finalists for the Lou Groza Award. Like I said, I'm just not sure what kickers do at the combine except kick.
Right.
So I don't know. That to me seems like kind of a crazy way to measure it because you got sterile conditions indoors, no rush, no wind, no rain, no nothing. Wait till you kick in Cleveland in the snow in December, then we'll see if you can kick.
With a rush.
Yeah, with a rush. And then the other two players, one is from Niceville, is I had to look up how to pronounce his first name. Azaria Thomas. He's from Niceville. He's a DB, 6'2", about 200 pounds. He had a good career there at Florida State. But with 6'2", 190, almost 200 pounds, that's kind of how they like him, tall and long arms and all that. So I actually saw him play in high school. He was obviously very good in high school, too. So that's not a surprise. Then they have a defensive tackle, Josh Farmer, who's 6'3", 320. All those NFL teams like those big guys that clog up the middle. So he'll probably have a good career, too. I looked at his stats, though. I'm talking about Farmer now. He only had 21 tackles in 4 years. And I'm going, I'm not real smart here. I taught history. But let's see. Math tells us that's 5 tackles a year.
Yeah.
5 tackles a year. Okay.
He had more tackles than they had wins, so that's a good thing.
I guess, as the old expression goes, I guess that's good work if you can get it. So let's see. What'd you do in your career? Well, I had 5 tackles this year. Well, come on to the combine. Come on. So obviously there may be stories behind. He might have been hurt. I don't know. I'm just kind of teasing, but he didn't have a lot of production in college.
Yeah.
But if you're 6'3", 320, that's what they're looking for. That's what the NFL looks for, at that position. So we'll see how it all works out, how they...
A lot of defensive tackles gap integrity. A lot of those guys don't make super amount of tackles, but, you would expect more than 5 a year.
I had to
just
look.
falling on top of somebody on accident.
That can't be right. 21 tackles in 4 years?
Let's be honest. They weren't good last year, so there's a lot of players that underperformed. The defensive end, I think, was Marvin Jones, they underperformed. The whole team underperformed last year.
No.
So
I'm going to be sarcastic and a smart aleck for a little bit here, just for a second. Is DJ in the? Is he?
He's coming back. Congratulations, Florida State. He's got a 6-year.
Does he have any eligibility left, or is he?
I think he does, but I think he declared for the draft.
Is he going to transfer out again to go somewhere else?
I think he went. I think he declared for the draft, but I might be misremembering. One of our callers might call in and right. Inform us of what he's doing. I was hoping he went back to Florida State and made things right with their fans. One more year.
I hope he starts against Alabama.
So, all kidding aside, so James, Mr. Alabama, so how's that game going to go, Alabama versus Florida State, week 1 in Tallahassee? How's that going to play out?
I have no idea. If he's the quarterback, I feel good for Bama. Alabama's got 8 back on defense. I don't know. I was not impressed. They got the Bama thing going on from Fox Nation. They behind the scenes of Bama.
This is the biggest, most physical, athletic Florida State team they've ever seen again.
Yeah, that's what we were hearing this time last year.
I do think they got to be better. Come on, they can't be that bad again. There's no way. There's no way they'll be bad. I think it'll be a tough game.
That Nebraska defensive line coach is really good. I think he's going to develop those.
I think it's a must win for both coaches.
I give a big advantage to Alabama. I'd be shocked if they don't win this game. For me, Florida State just has to, have a good showing because Norvell is definitely on the hot seat. I mean, there's no way after 2-10, and I think Alabama is just a way better team. If they commit to the run, in my opinion, Alabama's going to beat them. I mean, but we haven't seen them do that.
So maybe I don't know this. Maybe the callers out there know, or maybe Jason, Mr. Moneyball, knows. What is the buyout for Norvell? I mean, how much time has he got left? How much money do they have?
He's got a big raise.
Yeah, he got that 10-year raise because
Alabama.
Wait, did you say 10-year?
Yeah.
Yes.
Over
he's got 9
$97 million. So it was 70 last year. I think it's down to like 57.
Holy smoke! So if they really went south and they fired him, they'd owe him.
I think it's 60 something.
It might be in the 60s.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah, he ain't going anywhere.
They don't have the money to fire him because they fired Willie Taggart. They owed him. I mean, so listen. They just did a poor job
evaluation.
Right.
You think?
The character of that football. They just.
You think they kind of
missed the boat on that one.
Yeah, they did.
And they might.
We all questioned the quarterback when it happened.
I think hiring Malzahn was a huge risk. I mean, the offense is a different animal.
So I think it's going to work out okay.
It might, trust me, but I think it's still a risk because you're going back to a running offense with a quarterback that's not really known to throw from the pocket. I mean, if you look at the quarterbacks he had at Auburn, they were more running backs that could throw a little bit. I'm not sure the game's there. I think it's past that at this point. I think you have to win from the pocket. We see Milrose struggle.
If they got somebody that can run and throw, they're going to be good.
They got the kid from Boston College who can. So
because every time he's had a quarterback can do both, they've been really good on offense. If they don't, you're right.
It's a risk
I think he's going to do good. I really do. All right, Jason. Let's talk about your business. What's the best way to get up with you?
So we're on 23rd Street in the Del Coronado Village. We have our free sample bar. So the products we talk about on here, you can come down, grab a free sample with it, take it to the house, see how it works for you. That just helps you get a better product, helps us sell better products. But we also have our InBody 570 that we talk a lot about. And if you're an athlete, if you want to track your results, track your skeletal muscles, see if you're actually adding and improving over the year, you can come in and do that for free. But we have those at both locations in Pier Park North and on 23rd Street in the Del Coronado Village.
Also, don't forget about Beef O'Brady's in Lynn Haven. You want a great atmosphere to go watch any kind of athletic event going on, baseball, basketball, whatever's happening. This is a place you want to be. TV's everywhere. They treat you like family. Pat Perno's the city commissioner over there, does a great job in Lynn Haven, but his restaurant, second to none. The way they treat you, they got a smile on their face, the food, the service, everything. Beef O'Brady's in Lynn Haven. Get over there and have a great lunch today. When you're there, head on to see Russ and Amber. Beautiful people. Beautiful, beautiful people. Amber's more beautiful than
Highway 77, Lynn Haven. You can go in get your jewelry appraised. You can also get your battery watch. You know, it's that time of year, you know.
It's Trump time.
In a week, time goes forward, backwards, something like that. I forget. But it's a good time to get your battery in your watch checked out.
If you want to get another person you love, this is a small little
Mother's Day
necklace that's a place they will bargain with you. They do a dress. They're wonderful people.
Gold's at an all-time high.
Tommy's bought a lot of stuff over there.
Yeah, so have I.
Yes,
I'm
you
poor.
have. Yes, you have. All right, I do want to talk about another place. I tell you what, man, Vandergrift, I love them. I love the mom and daddy over there, Judy, Jim, Don. They've done a great job. They raised some great kids. They got the partners down there, the local 115 historical downtown Panama City. They got the old-fashioned salad bar. They went away. COVID, they went away. They're back. Thank God they're back. If you work downtown, you just want to get a quick lunch, go by there and get you a salad bar. Take it with you or eat right there. They got great food. Try the gumbo's really good. Oysters, crab cakes, steamed seafood, gumbo, soup, salads, wings, ice cold beer, nothing fried, a healthier option. It's like a museum. It's like a Bay County Hall of Fame. If you played sports down there, you've been in the band, you're a cheerleader, on the wall there's probably a picture of you or your school or people that you know.
And you know your gumbo, don't you? You are the guru of gumbo.
I get that gumbo every time I go down there. Local 115. We'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida, the Paul Feinbaum Show.
Hello, John.
This
John,
is ridiculous.
listen, I would not be making what you do.
They desecrate the national anthem and boo us.
Well, they did. That is a fact, and you know why. You know why. You know what their premise was.
We're not going to put up with here in this country anymore, Paul. Over and out.
Okay.
Paul Feinbaum, weeknights, 6 to 10 on ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good morning. This is Joanna on ESPN Northwest Florida with your forecast on this Friday. Sunshine this afternoon and evening with a moderate breeze around 13 miles per hour coming out of the west-southwest, and look for the high to be 69. Tonight, there will be mostly clear skies with the temperature reaching 58. Sunny tomorrow with a high of 70. Sunday will have a high of 65 and sunshine. This weather is sponsored by Mid-South Lumber, the best little lumber yard in Panama City. Thank you for keeping that dial at ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Bendian's Best Moves is a local moving company in Panama City, providing reliable services to the families and businesses in our community. Coveted for the long list of services they provide, experts at what they do, and they do it all from start to finish. The pros at Bendian's Best Moves have moved doctors, attorneys, pastors, schools, small businesses, the federal government, and they can move you too. For the best moving experience, it's Bendian's Best Moves. Call now, 850-583-0814.
WGSX Lynn Haven, WVLQ Port St. Joe. Powered by Panama City Toyota. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Being the world's #1 auto brand is a lot of fun. Camrys and Tacomas, Land Cruisers and Grand Highlanders. Toyotas are just built to be better.
And that's exactly how we built Panama City Toyota, to give you a better experience.
Where your needs always come first. Where you can relax with a great cup of coffee or browse the Heritage Collection. Or we help you add the perfect vehicle to your collection. Come see us today at Panama City Toyota.
Put down your natural light. It's time for the Alabama Update. The Alabama Update, weekday mornings at 8. On the Coach James Hale Show in 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Alabama Update is brought to you by the one and only Steverson Air Conditioning. Locals taking care of locals throughout the Panhandle of Florida. They do an incredible job. Get it serviced about every 6 months. Our power bill, thank God for Steverson Air Conditioning. I'll just say that. They save me money. It's one of the few things you actually can purchase that will actually pay for itself over a period of time. If you got one that's just running, the power bill's going through the roof, and nothing gets cool, nothing gets warm, you're wasting money every month. Go to Stevenson Air Conditioning, get a brand new one. Over time, it will pay for itself. If you got one that's pretty good, get it serviced every 6 months, but don't go with anybody but local. Go with Stevenson Air Conditioning. Throughout the Panhandle of Florida, Stevenson Air Conditioning. If you want to know the best, you want to know what's going on in SEC and college athletics, Jeff Spiegel, the legend, out of Birmingham, Alabama. Jeff, how are you doing today, sir?
Coach, you do incredible commercials. I mean, you are so good.
Thank you. Thank you. I've sent in my resume. That's a pretty big market up there. Hey, I want to ask you. I want to ask you what do you think? I watched it last night. I watched both of them. Fox Nation, which should really help Alabama recruiting. I mean, that's a big deal. A lot of people watch that. The regulars, all the Fox stations, they all promote it. I listen to Fox quite a bit. Julie watches it all the time. So throughout the day, they're bringing up Alabama football. So I think it's a good thing in that way. But what do you think about? I saw the first two. I don't know. What's your take on it?
Well, I think anytime you can, get your brand promoted and throw it out there, it's an awesome thing. And you say, well, wow, how much publicity does Alabama need? Well, I mean, you can't get too much, right?
You're right.
And so I think it's a good thing. I think also people are seeing, another side of Kalen DeBoer that maybe, they don't see on the sidelines. One of the things that, he was most criticized for was the fact that, the guy just doesn't seem to have any intensity or fire or anything like that. But we've seen that on the sidelines a few times. And you can pick up on that in the documentary with him and his coaching staff as well.
Yeah, he's definitely a player's coach. It's different. I mean, I was surprised how they handled the locker room before the game. Times have changed. I mean, everything has changed in college athletics. I'm used to the old way. But that Georgia game was something else. I like the emotions they showed to the players, how you're on top of the world. And then in the end of the game, man, it was totally different. And then Alabama comes back and wins it. I think they have 4 more series. I think there's 6 parts of it. And I think Jamie's in one of them. That's why I keep watching to see if I can see her. Are you in it too?
No, because you know what? They're out there more than I am. I stay in the office.
Yeah.
And a lot, which I'm not all that crazy about. But I'll always say, I got the people in the right places, and Jamie does a great job, Johnny does a great job. So yeah, she'll be on there. So I'm sure, once that gets out, we'll probably be renegotiating a contract.
I certainly hope so.
That ESPN money's tough to negotiate against.
Costs a lot of money to put your dad in an old folks home.
Yeah, I'm gonna need some help. I'm gonna move in with Jeff up there. He'll get a raise in for sure. All right, let's get into Alabama basketball. Wow, I mean, they scored a lot of points the other day, but I think they got to beat Tennessee. They got to win that ball game. Florida's right there. I think with Florida losing to Georgia definitely helped Alabama. But talk about that. How do you think it's going to wind up in the finals? We got, 2 more weeks to go? Can Bama pull it off? Can they win out? I kind of think not. But what's your take on Bama basketball the rest of the year?
Yeah, 3 more regular season games to go, and I don't know if that Florida loss to Georgia helped Alabama or not, because that kind of lit a fire under Florida's tail. For the rest of the year.
Yeah,
I mean, I really think you can look at Auburn and Florida right now, and I know Auburn's going to be the number 1 overall seed, but in terms of Alabama, I think this game against Tennessee is for a number 1 seed. I think the winner of that game will get a number 1 seed in the NCAA tournament. And, it'll be a rock fight. Tennessee likes to make a game, kind of ugly because they play such great defense up there, and especially, in that building. And Zakai Ziegler and Chaz Lanier are just guys that can just, go off, and it'll be a tough game for Alabama to win. But I can't think of a tougher closing stretch than to play the number 5, the number 3, and the number 1 teams in the country in the last 3 games of the season.
I'm with you. It's going to be, yeah. What do you think they'll do out of those 3 games? How they wind up 2-1, 0-3, 3-0? What do you think?
I think it's 1-2. I think they lose at Tennessee. I think they win at home against Florida, and then I think they lose at Auburn. I don't see them going into Neville Arena and beating the Tigers. I mean, I think they're good enough to, but I think Auburn is clicking right now too. I mean, you saw what they did against Ole Miss, so I'm looking at 1-2 those last 3 games.
Yeah, you watch Auburn right now; they look unbeatable. But Duke's out there. Houston's pretty good. Alabama beat Houston. What about the 1 seeds? How many SEC schools get 1 seeds?
Well, I mean, a couple. I mean, I heard Joe Lenardi say yesterday that he felt like Auburn could forfeit the rest of their games and still be a number 1, overall seed.
Yeah.
Because they have 15 quad 1 wins, which is just incredible. But no, there'll be another SEC team that'll be a number 1. I mean, Florida is certainly in the number 1 conversation. It's just there's so many things that have to be kind of diced out, but I'm looking at the winner of that Bama-Tennessee game sneaking in there, and Florida has certainly got a resume worthy of a number 1 seed.
Jeff, let me ask you a question. Everybody knows that Alabama can score, that they're top whatever scoring, but what's the basic issue with their defensive issues? They gave up 110 points the other day. It's like, that's a bushel load of points. So is it the pace? Is this the pace of their offense? They just don't give effort? Like, what's their basic defensive issue, in your opinion?
Well, I think the one issue they had at Missouri was turnovers. When you turn the ball over, the number of times that they did in that game, that's just extra possessions,
right?
That you give the opponent. And so that's going to make your defensive numbers look bad, especially if that other team can convert points off of turnovers. It's one thing if they get a turnover and they don't do anything with it. But if they get turnovers like Missouri did the other night and cash in on them, then the points can roll up in a hurry, and your defensive numbers look really bad. If I'm an Alabama fan, I would be really encouraged by what I saw Tuesday night against Mississippi State, because not only did they shoot the ball well, but they weren't happy just to settle, for a great offensive performance. I think they locked down defensively too. So this could be one of those, turning point moments for them in terms of playing defense.
Jeff, it's going by quickly. We got to take a break. We get back, we'll jump on a little bit to Auburn Tigers. I'm going to ask you when we get back, we can think about it. If we get back, we want to know about Auburn spring football game. Georgia, Clemson definitely they haven't changed anything far as I've heard. But all these other schools pulling out of spring football. Give us, if you know what's going on with Auburn for their spring game, if they change anything, you can let us know about that. But right now, let's talk about some of our wonderful people. We mentioned Stevenson Air Conditioning. Appreciate the Alabama update. Incredible job that they do at Stevenson Air Conditioning. You have any kind of problem, and I'll never forget this. I'll say it all the time. Leaving J. Michael's restaurant, a guy stops me and goes, I listened to your show. I heard you talk about Stevenson Air Conditioning. I was going with another company. As a matter of fact, it was a big company name.
Yeah.
And he goes, they told me to take a week to get to my house. As I called Stevenson because I heard them on your show, they were out there next day. They did a great job. I mean, they're that good. They're the best. Jason does a great job out there. And speaking of another Jason, what's happened down at Max Fit Sports Nutrition?
So we do have a couple of products that I do want to touch on. Our Good Morning product. I talked about our gut detoxifier. So it's got apple cider vinegar, lemon juice, it's got glutamine, it's got everything to take out that acidicness and bloating. And I can tell you this from experience because I had some stomach issues. If your stomach's not feeling good, you're just not going to be happy. It can be miserable at times. So this is a really, really good product. And then the peptides with the connective tissue healing, the BPCs and TB500s. We're selling a lot of people. We have doctors sending people in for these. These work tremendously. If you have any arthritis or if you have an injury to a ligament, tendon, muscle, these work extremely well to accelerate that healing. I had a torn rotator cuff. It helped me avoid surgery and be able to get back to normal, have no pain at all. I mean, the injury healed itself with the BPC. So these are really, really good products.
Stuff, yeah.
We have our free sample bar. You come down and sample our products. We have our InBody 570 at both locations on 23rd Street and in Pier Park North.
Don't forget about South Oak Title and Closing for all real estate closing. Mark Cow down on 38. You talking $10 million homes he sells. He won't use anybody but South Oak Title and Closing. So should you. Chuck Tucker and that crew, number one, never make a mistake. Everything's correct. South Oak Title and Closing. Just like J. Michael's restaurant, Chris Fish today, it's incredible. It's healthy, man. Grilled fish over a bed of rice, peppers, onions, special sauce, the legendary J. Michael's. We'll be right back with another legend, Jeff Spiegel, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Your home for college basketball, ESPN Northwest Florida.
This Saturday, it's going to be a showdown. The number 1 ranked Auburn Tigers travel to Lexington to play the number 17 Kentucky Wildcats as two powerhouses collide. Coverage starts at 11:30 Saturday on your home for the Auburn Tigers.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good morning. This is Joanna on ESPN Northwest Florida with your forecast on this Friday. Sunshine this afternoon and evening with a moderate breeze around 13 miles per hour coming out of the west-southwest, and look for the high to be 69. Tonight there will be mostly clear skies with the temperature reaching 58. Sunny tomorrow with a high of 70. Sunday will have a high of 65 and sunshine. This weather is sponsored by Mid-South Lumber, the best little lumber yard in Panama City. Thank you for keeping that dial at ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Hey folks, Chris Kramer with Bill Kramer GM. And the best place to listen to the Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey is inside a brand new vehicle from Bill Kramer GM. And I want you to know we've got 10 times the amount of inventory on the ground as we did this time last year, and darn near all of them are discounted. So shop us online at BillKramerGM.com or visit us the corner of Frankfurt and 23rd. We'll make it easy and take great care of you.
This is the sound of turning small bets into legendary wins. Only on the Hard Rock Bet Sportsbook app. The sound of parlays. The sound of paydays. The sound of watching the game will never be the same. Hard Rock Bet has already paid out millions and millions in parlays to people across Florida. Download Hard Rock Bet now, and if your first bet doesn't win, get up to $100 back as a bonus bet. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to play. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about gambling? Please call 1-888-ADMIT-IT.
For everything in the world of golf, it's the Watson Report. Thursdays at 4:20 with Alan Watson from Golf Plus. ESPN Northwest Florida. Now back to the Coach James Hale Show inside the J. Michael Studio.
Hey, Martha, Kenny, James, Jenna. We got a lot of Tigers throughout the Panhandle of Florida. They love those Auburn Tigers, and they are happy. They want the football team to be like the basketball team. It used to be the other way around. Bruce Pearl's done an incredible job. I don't see him ever leaving Auburn. I'd be shocked. I know Indiana would love to have him, but I don't think he'll go anywhere. We got Jeff Spig on with us this morning. Jeff, what are you hearing about Auburn? Have you heard anything lately about their spring game? I guess everything's set to do it like they normally do.
Well, I reached out to the sports information guy down there at Auburn, Kirk, and haven't really heard anything back from them. I don't expect them to really change, from the traditional format. I know Kalen DeVore has come out and said that, they're going to have a big fan event, and I'm not sure. I know Texas and Nebraska have canceled the spring game per se. But there are so many other schools who are still sticking with this and going with the traditional format. But, it wouldn't surprise me if we see a wave of just reimagining how things are done because, quite frankly, I haven't been to many spring games that are the only great spring game that I went to was when Ray Perkins was hired and they had an alumni game.
Yeah.
And Snake Stabler played in it, and Dennis Homan played in it, and, all the great names, of the past, which they're never going to have another one of those because you don't want anybody to get really badly hurt out there.
Right.
But a lot of these spring games are just, not very interesting anyway, so I think a lot of schools, including Alabama, are going to reimagine how they do them.
We had Andy on yesterday. He comes on every Thursday at 8:15 talking about what's going on at Auburn, but I honestly, Auburn, I don't see their basketball team dropping off anytime soon. You go to a game, if you can bring a recruit in there and go in that arena, it's like second to none. It's so loud. People are crazy about basketball there. You got Bruce Pearl. Do you see them dropping off big time next year? I think they're going to be really good next year again.
No, I think as long as Bruce Pearl is there, I think they're going to maintain a level, very similar to this. Now, will they be 26-2 again next year? That's just unbelievable. What they've done this year with all the quad one wins. But no, certainly every year, you worry about some other school poaching him, but he seems incredibly happy at Auburn, and he's just kind of rocking and rolling right now. Those guys are just incredible.
They made a list of teams that actually could win the national championship in basketball this year. Some of them I don't get. All right, here are the ones that I kind of agree with. Houston, Duke, Auburn, Florida, Arizona, Clemson, Maryland.
Maryland, no. Arizona,
Iowa
no.
State.
Iowa State's really good.
What about Texas Tech?
Borderline.
How many? Give us the real number. Who can win it all this year?
Auburn and Duke.
Yeah.
Auburn and Duke. I really think that's going to be the national championship game.
Just to give a Big Ten a little bit of love, I think Michigan State, this is a team that usually, Izzo kind of sneaks around, sneaks in the Final Four. He's never been like a regular season guy, but they're in the top 10 right now. So they're one team, I think, that could sneak in there, but Auburn and Duke are the most talented team.
So there's no San Diego States on our horizon right here?
Houston would be comparable to that. They have a lot of good guard play, and they defend, so I would put them in there as well.
Honestly,
I would too.
Jeff, I really thought Florida might do something, but that Georgia thing kind of busted that bubble a little bit. But you know what? Auburn lost to Florida, and look how they responded really well.
Yeah.
All right, look, now I'll say this, though, about that Georgia-Florida game. They were down 26 at one point.
Yeah.
And then they came back and took the lead in that game. And credit to Georgia for hanging in there and retaking the lead and closing out the game. But I think it just speaks to how great the league is.
Yeah.
And I think Florida is still an elite basketball team. I would put Florida there in that handful of teams that can win it all. I saw them beat Auburn at Neville Arena. There's only been one team that's done that this year. So, that to me gives them a lot of credibility.
All right, I wanted to ask you this before we get off today. the 3 top jobs in college football, and it's changed for me. At one time, I said Alabama is the greatest college football job in the country because they got the great facilities, they got the tradition, the huge state, all that stuff, and they can recruit nationally. It's changed now with NIL. Here are my top 3 schools, and I'll tell you why. Then I want to hear what yours are, Jeff. At number 3, I'd say Texas. And I would put them really at number 1, but there's this, if you don't do what the high school coaches do, if you don't recruit certain players, those guys stick together and they can turn on a coach there. Coach Mac Brown did a good job handling that for a while. But if you don't handle that situation pretty good, you got to watch out. And they got money, they got facilities. So I think Texas number 3. Number 2, I got Georgia. All the great players in that great state of Georgia, they pay their high school coaches more than anywhere else in the country. Georgia and Texas take care of their high school coaches. Some of the schools, their coordinators don't even have to teach. They just nothing but football. And that's the reason they're so good there. And you got Kirby Smart. You got tradition. You got the stadium. You got the facilities, and you got money. But now, the number 1 school to me, and not because they're in here, is Ohio State. They've got all the facilities. They got the huge stadium. They got the national name. But they got money. They can recruit nationally now like they never have. They got our 2 starters, our All-American DB, and look what he did. They took our star center and they actually coached him to snap a ball that we couldn't do. So they do a good job coaching. So that's my top 3. Bama's not in there right now. I don't have Bama in there right now for a couple reasons. What's your top 3 schools in college football right now?
Well, no, I mean, I think you nailed it. I mean, I think Alabama would be 4 in that mix. I mean, I don't think you could take like a 9-4 season and say that Alabama has just completely dropped off the map. I mean, that's I certainly am not buying that, but I do buy Ohio State, being the number 1, job, the number 1 overall program. I think they kind of broke through the glass ceiling. Not that Ohio State has never won a national championship before. I'm not saying that.
Right.
But there was like a perception that they just weren't good enough lately to win it all, which was kind of ridiculous. And then the world was going to end after they lost to Michigan, and then they made that incredible postseason run. So. Yeah, I think your list is pretty much on target.
Yeah, and I think the biggest thing with Bama right now, why I don't have them in the top 3, is I just don't know how much money they have to go buy players like, I never would thought in my lifetime that Oregon could come in the state of Alabama and get one of their top players. And they did it with money. That's the only reason the kid went out there was the money. And you can't blame him.
He got a shoe contract. You were going to sign a shoe for him.
Yeah.
That's why he's out in Oregon.
Yeah, it's about money, and I get it. And we just don't – I don't know if we have that kind of money, Texas money. We don't have Ohio money. We don't have Georgia's got more money than us, I think. I could be wrong on that.
Well, that's another thing. Where does Oregon stand in the grand scheme of things there? I mean, he's done a really good job out there. You kind of, forget about them because they're way out there on the West Coast. But he's certainly made some hay for sure.
Yeah. Well, how much? Oh, we got that. Hey, but you don't realize how much we appreciate you coming on. I know how busy you are, but people really in the panel of Florida really enjoy when you come on. All the knowledge you have. Been doing this since 1983. Did you ever get a sit down with Coach Bryant? Did you ever get to meet him? Because I know he left in '82 his last year. So did you ever get that interview? Did you ever meet him?
I met him after a football game that I covered way back in the day, and shook his hand. And I never thought I was going to get my hand back. His hands. I remember. First of all, his voice was so deep. And secondly, his hands were so incredibly huge, like it just swallowed up half of my arm. It was unbelievable, but it was certainly a moment I'll never forget.
Yeah, give me the old days. Give me the Bear Bryants, Woody Hayes, Bo Schembecker. Give me. I miss those days, man. I do.
Well, y'all take care. Have a good weekend.
You too, buddy. Take care of yourself. Thanks you so much, man. All right, let's talk about some of our great people. We love so many of our sponsors. We love every one of our sponsors. Patrick does a great job. Turf Pro Pest Control. You want your yard to look beautiful? That's the man that can do it. You got pests, you got ants, you got all kind of problems with your house. Turf Pro Pest Control can take care of that also. Listen to Patrick, 8:30 right here every Monday on ESPN Northwest Florida. I believe he was at the last Auburn basketball game. I'm pretty sure about that. And we'll talk to him about that when we get him here Monday. Also, Paparazzi Pizza. You love pizza. It's Paparazzi. I know Michigan Eddie loves Paparazzi Pizza. Great place, great people. Retired police officer does an incredible job at Paparazzi. Also, don't forget the legendary Dr. Chad Mitchell. He has operated on so many people that I know and done such a wonderful job. The legend, Chad Mitchell, every Monday right here on ESPN Northwest Florida. We're right back. We got a special guest coming here in a minute. We'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Your home for college basketball. ESPN Northwest Florida.
This Saturday, it's going to be a showdown. The number 1 ranked Auburn Tigers travel to Lexington to play the number 17 Kentucky Wildcats as two powerhouses collide. Coverage starts at 11:30 Saturday on your home for the Auburn Tigers.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
College football fans, this is Patrick with Turf Pro Lawn and Pest Control. As toe meets leather to start this football season, don't forget about your lawn. Sod webworms and other turf-destroying insects are on the move. Before they can score a touchdown in your lawn, call Turf Pro Lawn and Pest Control to set up the right defense for your property. Turf Pro Lawn and Pest Control, where the yellow and blue trucks make your lawn green. Call us local 890-5820. Remember, 890-5820.
Are you looking for a place to take a leak? Do you have a truck, tractor, or other hydraulic equipment leaking or not performing as it should? At Reliable Hydraulic Solutions, we can get you back to work. Do you have a busted or leaking hose? Hydraulic cylinder or pump needing repair? If competitive pricing and a quick turnaround are what matter to your business, come see us at Reliable Hydraulic Solutions. Or you can give us a call at 850-326-3000. Reliable Hydraulic Solutions, 6840 Highway 77 in Southport, the best place in town to take a leak.
Visit the newly remodeled Mid-South Lumber Hardware and Feed Store in Youngstown. They have a full line of plumbing, electrical, hardware, and tools for your DIY home projects, as well as lumber and animal feed. Now offering not only baby chicks and a full line of poultry supplies, but also bunnies and parakeets. They also carry a wide selection of Duplin wines and gourmet products so you don't have to drive to the beach. Come see us at Mid-South Lumber on Highway 231 in Youngstown.
I don't always talk to Alabama fans, but when I do, I ask for large fries. Now back to the Coach James Hale Show on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is a man's world. This is a man's world.
Oh, yes. Way to end the week. All you women out there, it's the weekend. Don't forget this. Wash cars.
Sunday breakfast time.
Yeah. Get that line, though. That bacon better be crispy, baby.
You're baby.
If not, you'll be doing it again.
Lucille, change the channel.
It's a man's world. I'm glad you played that. That was awesome on Friday. I really appreciate Jeff Spiegel coming on. Does a great job up there. Started
a half an hour of Jeff Spiegel.
Started back at
everybody loves him down here.
Yeah, 1983. The guy's incredible. If you ever watch a SEC 30 by 30 or SEC Network, you will see him on there because they all want his opinion.
I got to disagree with him though. Auburn's are going to choke. They ain't going to win the title. They're going to do what they always do.
Possibly.
I've said that before.
Is Michigan or Michigan State going to get it done?
They're the two best teams in the Big Ten.
Okay.
Actually, Michigan had a buzzer beater last night against Rutgers.
Our special guest today is the one and only Michigan Eddie. We got a Michigan guy surrounded by Buckeyes.
Me.
We got a lot of Buckeyes.
And a Crimson Tide and the Harvard of the South, Southern Miss.
That's right. That education second to none.
Please, Lord, save me.
All right. My question to you guys, I want you to name the 5 greatest all-time college football. And let me tell you what the list says, and you can agree or not agree. Coming at number 5, from the great University of Tennessee.
What's the category? Greatest what?
Greatest college quarterbacks.
Oh, quarterbacks.
Quarterbacks.
I thought I was going to say coaches.
That would be Paul Bear Bryant. Tennessee.
Of course it would.
Peyton Manning. His record as a starting quarterback, 39-6. Maxwell winner, O'Brien winner, SEC Player of the Year.
Not a Heisman
Never
winner.
won the Heisman. Never won the Heisman. Who won it that year? Who stole it from him that year?
Oh, really? Oh, he stole it.
He should have never
He's the
gotten
best
it.
all-around player that year.
I disagree. I think Manning should have got
What
it.
Woodson did on the field for Michigan that year was amazing both ways. See the interception against Michigan State, what he did against Ohio State, what he did at the Rose Bowl, what he's done in the
I hate
pros,
to agree
and
with-
all that.
With my Wolverine here.
Yeah.
And Michigan was national champs that year.
All right.
Yes.
I'll be
Just
fair.
saying.
And that national championship got stolen too
Just saying.
when they split it with Osborne as a coaching parting gift. We should have won it outright. We split it that year.
Y'all about to
With-
lose
with-
another one
with-
too, but
with
that's
Nebraska.
another story. Where's Woodson from again? What state did he play?
Fremont, Ohio.
He's actually from Fremont, Ohio. as a
Fremont,
matter of fact.
Ohio.
Where the
Michigan.
Southern Ohio people go
I
play
changed
ball.
my-
The same
changed my
place
tune
as
now.
Bob
You're right.
Brzezinski and Rob Lytle are also from Fremont.
And the other Heisman winner, what was his name? Desmond Howard. Where was he from?
Ohio.
Oh, okay.
So
basically, Michigan's no
where's,
good without Ohio.
where's Kirk Krenzel from?
I don't care.
Michigan.
He went to
Who's
Utica
that?
Ford High School, my conference.
Who's that?
Just saying. Utica
All
Ford.
right, the
He's
number
the smartest.
4.
No, I'm
This he came in number 5. Okay, we'll go through them and y'all can say no, they're wrong, they're right. I agree with this one. It was only 1 year. It's like the guy came from outer space. He was incredible. If you watched Auburn play that year,
Oh, yeah.
he went in Tuscaloosa, won the game by himself. He beat LSU more or less by himself. Now, they did have the best defense player in the country that year also at Auburn. Auburn's Cam Newton wins the national championship, wins the Heisman Trophy, 2,589 yards passing, but what he did running the ball, 1,409 yards rushing.
And a ton of touchdowns, too.
Yeah, the guy was incredible.
These things had to
love
beat
him,
Alabama.
hate him.
They were down, 28 points in that game or
Yep.
something crazy, and he brought them
Ingram
back.
fumbled and changed it all.
Yep.
Yeah, right. All right, that was number 4. Number 3, and we all knew him where he played high school ball at, Nebraska. That team was incredible. 94, 95 national championship quarterback. Tommy Frazier. He was an MVP of 3 national championship teams. They won 2 national championship games. He was an MVP of 3 of them. That's incredible.
He was a tremendous track athlete in high school,
God.
so he could do anything.
He was
High jump, long
as
jump,
strong
triple
as a
jump.
bull.
Yeah.
He could run.
Tremendous
He
athlete.
passed away, didn't he, a couple years ago?
I think that was Lawrence Phillips, the running back.
Oh, yeah, okay. I
didn't think so.
I think so.
Yeah.
No, Jason's right. It was Lawrence Phillips.
See, this is the kind of offense that Milroe should have been running at Nebraska, not what they did to Alabama. But he was at number 3. Number 2, got to give him credit. I thought he was a great one, too. I'll never forget watching the game. Texas beats USC. Reggie Bush wins the Heisman Trophy. USC looked unbeatable. He gets it done. He wins the national. As a starting quarterback at Texas, he was 30 wins, 2 losses. He came in at number 2. But number 1, and I'm going to go with it because I love him so much. I think they're right. What he did as a leadership ability is unbelievable. Heisman Trophy winner, national champ, SEC Player of the Year, the one and only
Baby
Mr.
Jesus.
Tebow himself, Tim Tebow.
I was
Number
going
1.
to start advocating for him because I thought he was going to get left off. To me, I don't care what kind of. I don't get worried about what they do in the NFL.
Right.
Just as a college player, Tebow is as good as it gets.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, 2 national championships. Yeah, he was only a part starter on one. I get it, but he carried the team. Phenomenal player. Remember him against Florida State? He had all that paint all over.
my God.
him.
Yeah.
A
I remember the speech after the Ole Miss game.
That won it right there. That speech and what he did afterwards.
Right.
He's awesome.
And then when he lost to Alabama, bless his heart, I mean, he loved it. I mean, he died, breathed it. Didn't he just give a lot of money back to the university? Didn't I read that somewhere?
Probably. I wouldn't be surprised. How you can not like him is beyond me.
Is he not the best role model? Him and Danny Warfield are the 2 best role models ever.
Think about the guys that go to Florida Gatorsville for a minute here. Think about the 3 guys that won the Heisman at Florida. Okay, Steve Spurrier, whose daddy was a preacher, Danny Warfel, whose daddy was a preacher, and Tim Tebow, whose daddy was a missionary.
Wow.
So all 3 of them played quarterback, and all 3 of them had daddies that were
That's awesome, man.
They were for
didn't think
so
about
nice when we played them over there.
I love the points he comes up with.
Maybe
Good job.
there's
Good
something
job.
to
You must
that.
be from Ohio.
I am.
Unbelievable.
There must be something to that.
Michigan, did you agree with the top five?
saying.
Anybody else out there that we should take off or put in? Is there anybody out there? Joe Namath.
Alex Orji. Their backup quarterback from last year.
He did damage against Ohio State, I think, this year.
You didn't want Harbaugh in there?
He only scored 13 points.
Harbaugh was a great quarterback. He didn't win a national championship. He won some Rose Bowls.
I wouldn't put him in top five.
A lot of Michigan's quarterbacks were really good in college, but they were better in the pros. You know,
Yeah. Well,
Brady.
When Bo was good,
Hinton, I
they
thought
were
was gonna be
power
up there,
offense.
but
They
he-
ran the ball back a lot. Woody ran the ball mostly. Anybody you can think of that wouldn't did?
Ryder Staubach.
That's a good one. Yeah.
I mean, for 1 year, Joe Burrow. I mean, I would put him up there.
Yeah, he won the he's like Cam. He won the national championship.
3 or 4 yards.
Would you put him in? Would you take him and put him in and take somebody else out like Manning?
It just depends on how you're, measuring these. Like Tommy Frazier, to me, is not like a great throwing quarterback, but he was a dominant quarterback in that era. So,
Man, I will say this.
Manning, I would take.
I would
off.
take him out, but you know
Yeah.
why? Because he didn't win a national championship.
Or I don't think. How many SEC titles did he have? I don't think he won many SEC titles, but I may be wrong on that. I thought he lost to Florida like 3 out of 4 years.
Steve Spurrier down
And you know what's
Florida.
crazy about Tennessee? They had Peyton Manning in '97, doesn't win it, and then they go 98 with T. Martin of all people.
From Mobile, Alabama.
And they were national champs. So there's a lot. The best guys don't always win the championship.
Jim, you're good at this stuff. Is anybody else you would put on there?
That's a pretty good. Tommy Frazier was a surprise to me.
Yeah. Well, he won those national championships.
A lot of people kind of forget about him.
Matt Leinart. He was good.
Yeah,
USC.
Leinart was good.
What did he never won a national
Sean
championship.
Watson was good in Clemson.
Yeah. And he won a national championship. That might be one we'd have to consider.
I'm just happy there's no Alabama guys on.
Actually, also another one is
Thank you, Jim. Joe Namath won a national championship. Kenny Stabler
was
won.
a Power 5 at the time, but Case Keenum in Houston, he did pretty well for playing at Houston.
Blake Sims,
Lamar Jackson,
a native of Abilene, Wiley, Texas.
Florida State
Coker won a
remembers
national championship.
Lamar Jackson. I can tell you that.
Did Charlie Ward win a championship at Florida State?
I think he won a Heisman, didn't he?
He won a Heisman,
Wait
right?
a minute. Go to Florida State. You got national champs and Heisman Trophy winners there.
Charlie Ward, right?
The best,
Yeah,
for sure.
Charlie Ward.
How do I know this
Winky
and
was,
you guys
but-
don't?
You know,
on.
Wink was a kind of.
You went to Air Force Academy. You're smart.
We're forgetting somebody. There's another good quarterback out there. I'm just not remembering.
How can
right
he
now.
outthink you two guys?
Ty Detmer.
He's not.
Ty Detmer's good. Forgot about Steve Young, BYU.
Steve won, yeah.
What about Joe Montana, Notre Dame?
I think if anybody, those FSU guys, they were good.
Danny Warfel's good.
Yeah.
Well, his dad was a
Gino
preacher
Toretta at the U.
Yeah, true. I kept looking for you. Everything good? We done anything wrong today? We're pretty good.
Will Howard.
I'm going to go back to the Wildcat history here. Babe Perilli at the University of Kentucky, who played for
Paul Bear Bryant.
Now you got my attention.
played for Bear Bryant. That's right, 1950, or whatever that was.
Stabler.
Yeah, one national. I tell you what.
You know who one of the best quarterbacks of all time is? One of the best ever. Played for UCLA.
Who?
Mark Harmon.
Mark Harmon.
Yeah, he was good.
TV,
he was
TV
good on
star
TV.
of NCIS. And you know who his daddy was?
Tom Harmon.
Tom Harmon, Heisman winner at Michigan.
Yeah, good point.
Just saying.
I will say this: if you go do your homework,
They ran the wishbone.
there's a guy named Don Hudson, who was one of the greatest all-time players at any time in history. Go look him up. What he did in the NFL, he still holds records in the NFL.
Yeah.
He played with Coach Bryant. Him
Yeah,
and Coach
Jerry
Bryant
Rice
were
broke a lot of
roommates.
his records.
Yeah.
He had a touchdown record for a long
Jerry
time.
Rice is a pretty good one too.
Yeah.
Now.
Yeah, a
That's a
little
pretty
bit.
good ball.
You know who's also good, didn't get a lot of credit at the time, but played at HBCU school, Steve McNair.
Yeah,
he was.
Yeah,
really
he
good.
was good.
He, Alcorn State. Put Alcorn
Was
State
he
on
the
the
one
map.
that was murdered?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, they did a series on that. I watched
He was
that.
dating a little young girl. And
Yeah.
Had she
Tragic
killing
accident,
him, I
whatever,
guess. There's
yeah.
a lot of weird stuff that went on.
Yeah.
Who really knows what the truth was, but that was the story.
All right, let's talk about some of our great people. I want to remind you of the local 115 downtown historical Panama City. Go check it out. We think you'll love it.
You'll love it.
Great food, great atmosphere. It's like a Bay County Hall of Fame. Go down there and look at it. You will love the place.
How about the salad bar, Coach?
Salad bar. On one place you can get a salad bar. That's the local 115. They got oysters. They got crab cake, steamed seafood, gumbo, soup, salads, wings, ice cold beer. Try the Tommy Oliver. Really good stuff. Local 115. Also, don't forget about Beef O'Brady's in Lynn Haven. Love Patrick, city commissioner over there. Pat Perno is unbelievable. His restaurant is the way they treat you. You'll never get a bad meal there. The food is great, but it's the human factor, the way they treat you like family. I love going in there. Check it out. You will absolutely love it on Lynn Haven. Beef O'Brady's. We'll be right. Jason, let's give a love for Max Fit Sports Nutrition. If you know somebody that doesn't look very good, doesn't dress very well, and you want them to have a better life.
He's sitting right across from you, by the way.
Where can we go?
Don't talk about Wildcat like that.
Where can he go?
So we're on 23rd Street in the Del Coronado Village. I'll be down in Pier Park today from 10 to 1, and I'll be on the 23rd Street today from 2 to 4. So if you want to come down, get on the InBody, try out some of our free samples, you can go to either location, and we can hook you up.
We'll be right back. 104 with the legendary Michigan Eddie, the people's caller, the one and only. He's going to be mad when they have to forfeit that national championship. I heard
Pat
breaking
Sullivan.
news.
Pat Sullivan.
The game going with ESPN Northwest Florida. Just because you get out of the car doesn't mean the Sports Talk and Live play-by-play have to end. Just say, hey Alexa, open ESPN Northwest Florida. From Michigan Avenue to the man cave, from the car to the kitchen, we've got you covered. Keep the game going. Hey Alexa, open ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good morning. This is Joanna on ESPN Northwest Florida with your forecast on this Friday. Sunshine this afternoon and evening with a moderate breeze around 13 miles per hour coming out of the west-southwest, and look for the high to be 69. Tonight, there will be mostly clear skies with the temperature reaching 58. Sunny tomorrow with a high of 70. Sunday will have a high of 65 and sunshine. This weather is sponsored by Mid-South Lumber, the best little lumber yard in Panama City. Thank you for keeping that dial at ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Every love story deserves a perfect beginning. At Tracy's Fine Jewelry, we believe that your engagement ring should be as unique as your love. Explore a vast selection of certified natural and lab-created diamonds, each hand-picked for brilliance and beauty. Whether you desire the timeless allure of one of our hand-selected engagement rings, or you'd like to custom design the perfect ring, visit us today and let our experts guide you in finding the ring of her dreams, because love deserves the best. Tracy's Fine Jewelry, where love sparkles.
Krispy Kreme Donuts invites you to bring the cinema home while you're binge-watching your go-to Hulu shows and movies. Enjoy the first of its kind in the Hulu and Krispy Kreme collab. It's the new Candy Double Feature Donuts, the Cookie Dough Superstar Donut, the Caramel Popcorn Donut, and the Blue Raspberry Slush Donut. Only at Krispy Kreme Donuts, in front of HCA Hospital, 23rd Street, Panama City, and on the Ross Clark Circle in Dothan. Krispy Kreme Donuts since 1937, where you get them hot.
If your neighbor, employer, or grandmother were traumatized by comments made on the Coach James Hale Show.
One thing he won't say a whole lot about, and I'll probably get in trouble,
but just wanted to take this moment to say, get bent. We're live from the J. Michael Studio, ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. I want to apologize for the noise you're hearing right now. Some people don't know radio, but
I make your show.
Anyway, we got
Hi, Mrs. Hale.
On the
Just want to say hello.
this morning.
I'm putting up with your husband this morning.
You don't talk over people.
He killed
in the radio.
G. Hackman. Look at his hoodie.
He was out that part of the country at that time.
I didn't know he lived in Santa Fe.
I didn't either.
I didn't either.
They're saying some kind of suspicious gas leak, right?
I don't know.
We don't know.
Even the family dog was dead.
I know, but I guess the people are mummified, but the dog wasn't, so that's a little weird, you know. I don't know.
Yeah, we shall see.
Cash.
Weird stuff happens out in Mexico, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah. Well, you know, that Hollywood industry is a little different, you know.
This is kind of something different. This guy thinks outside the box, and I don't agree with him whatsoever, but I want you guys to just listen. Don't go nuts. And I want this, it's a writer from CBS, and this is what he says the 12 teams will be in 2025. And he does think outside the box. He thinks there's going to be a big surprise in college football in 2025. And how can you do that? We don't even know who's on the team yet because anyways, but anyway, we'll do it. Number 12 will be Memphis. They will be the Cinderella team this year. They get it at number 12. Number 11 out of the ACC. And watch out for them. I don't think that I disagree with this, but watch out. Georgia Tech.
That's possible. I can see their improvement over the last couple of years.
And the second team out of the Big Ten at number 10, I mean, I'm not Big Ten, but out of the ACC, number 10, Miami Hurricanes get it at number 10.
All depends on if Beck's healthy, to be honest.
Yeah.
They've recruited really well. I mean, they've recruited defense, offensive line really well. But, you know, even last year.
Best money can buy.
They had the best quarterback in the
They had potentially the number 3 pick in the NFL draft playing quarterback.
Yep.
And they gave up 50 points a game.
Yeah, they were just
it's not
terrible in defense.
Yeah.
Number 9, I'm surprised they're at number 9, the Texas Longhorns.
I think they're entering the season would be preseason number 1 or number 2.
And that first game of the year will answer a lot of questions.
They bring a lot back on defense, and their defensive front's really good.
And that's the reason I think they might can win it all.
Yeah.
Number 8, Iowa State.
Thank you.
Number 7, surprised this a little bit. Number 7, Oregon. I
could see that.
I thought they'd be higher. Number 7.
They could be. You know, losing Dylan Gabriel's going to hurt them a little bit. You know, we'll see what's his name.
Who put this list out?
CBS.
Danny Cannell.
I didn't write his name.
Sounds like
This looks Danny Cannell work. Yeah, exactly.
It might have been. Number 6, BYU. These are all like out in left field. Number 5, I don't get this one. Maybe they will. They got a great defensive player. South Carolina.
I can see him sneak in like 11, 12.
Not at 5.
All right, wait a minute.
I mean,
They finished strong. I mean, I'll tell you, I think
They got some players.
The Cockaboos, man, in Columbia.
They got
Don't
beat by
count them out.
Illinois.
Don't-
Come on.
They very well
That's the
could
Big
make the
Ten.
playoffs.
I know.
Let's clarify what this topic is. Is this teams that are going to make the playoffs?
Yes.
Or teams that are just going to be better?
No, this is a
make the
top
playoffs.
25 playoff teams.
This is his top 12.
I can't really say what I really want to say.
Say it.
It wouldn't be politically correct.
Well,
I'm going to
We
say
don't care.
no.
It's a free country.
It gets more. There's more SEC schools as we go. At number 4.
Of course, there's more SEC schools.
Number 4. And it wouldn't shock me. I don't think number 4, but it wouldn't shock me they got
So
in.
far, we got Brigham Young, Iowa State, and Memphis.
Yeah.
And Georgia Tech.
And Georgia Tech.
And South Carolina.
And BYU.
At number 5.
And BYU.
I'm going to say no.
Number 4. Florida Gators.
Golly damn.
I wouldn't be
Much
shocked they get
improved.
in,
The
but
way
not
they
at
finished
4.
last year, go Gators, chomp chomp. Dude.
I'll just say this.
Michigan's agreeing, but
That makes more
did you
sense.
write this list?
That makes more sense than some of the other ones.
No.
It makes more sense to BYU
I got my
and
own
Iowa
list that's a lot
State.
better than your list.
I mean, somebody has to win the Big 12, let's be honest. But
Here we go.
to have 2 teams in there from that conference is probably a long shot.
Here are your top 3. At number 3, the Ohio State Buckeyes, defending national champs at number 3.
Okay.
Number 2, not number 3, from the Big Ten, Penn State. They got a chance.
They got a lot of people coming back.
They have a lot of people coming back.
they-
Knowles is a good defense coordinator. He might
Like
be
I
a
say,
little
that
quirky,
makes
but
more sense than some of the other ones.
I just don't believe in Aller. I don't think they're going to beat Ohio State. I don't care what you say. I mean, until you do it and prove it. I mean, Aller to me was the reason they lost to Notre Dame. It was a terrible pick at the end of that game. You just eat the ball and go to overtime.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
And number 1,
Or is it Franklin's fault for calling it?
comeback year. Number 1,
Georgia.
who?
Alabama.
Georgia.
What'd you say?
Alabama.
Say it one more time.
Oh, stop it. You made
Alabama.
this list up. Oh, come on, man.
Who you got?
Do you want to know the real list?
No, I don't want to. I want you to answer the question. Who do you think it is?
I know who it is because it's your show. Of course, it's going to be Alabama.
You say it's Georgia?
Yeah.
The number 1 team, this nut wrote down.
Could be Michigan, too, though.
LSU.
No.
LSU.
Not with Kelly.
So help me out.
So Georgia's going to miss the playoffs.
So
next
no
year.
Georgia,
Alabama,
no
Georgia.
Alabama.
No.
So the SEC is going to be South
No
Carolina
Michigan.
and LSU.
No
And
Michigan.
And Florida.
Here we go. Number 1, LSU Fighting Tigers. Number 2, Penn State. Number 3, Ohio State Buckeyes. Number 4, Florida. Number 5, South Carolina. Number 6, BYU. Number 7, Oregon. Number 8, Iowa State. Number 9, Texas. Number 10, Miami. Number 11, Georgia Tech. Number 12, Memphis.
Remember a couple
That's the reason I wrote it down. I said, this is crazy.
Remember a couple years ago when Desmond Howard picked
Yeah.
Pittsburgh and Texas A&M to play for the championship? Well, that's about the same thing.
Well, here's a real list. Can I go real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Number 12, Kansas State.
Go slow.
At number
Go slow.
5, Oregon. Number 11, Michigan at Notre Dame. At number 6, Notre Dame. Number 10, Miami. At number 7, LSU. Number 9, Georgia. At number 8, Penn State. And then you got the quarterfinals. You got number 5, Oregon versus number 4, UNLV. Then you got number 6, Notre Dame versus number 3, Clemson. And then number 7, LSU versus Texas. And then Penn State versus Ohio State in the Rose Bowl. And then it's got the semifinals, Oregon State versus Oregon, a rematch.
Oregon State?
No. Ohio State versus
Oh, you said
Oregon.
Oregon State.
Clean your ears, Q-tip.
You said Oregon State.
Thank you. And then Texas versus Notre Dame again.
That makes a little more
That list
sense.
makes more sense
And
than
then
one
Ohio
you just read.
State, and then Ohio State versus Texas for the
The national championship. I can see that happening. They got to play
I'm kind of
twice.
surprised.
We saw Oregon and Ohio State play twice.
Yeah.
We did.
How good is Michigan? Be serious, no kidding. What about Michigan next year?
Offensive line is going to be stout. They got Gio Hottie anchoring, and he'll be back. And then you got Bryce Underwood coming back. I believe Davis Warren is coming back.
But you got a kid from UNLV that's probably going to, at least come in and start a little bit.
Why did you have to go hire this high-end lawyer? Y'all weren't satisfied with the one you had. You had to go get another lawyer. What's the deal on that?
What are you talking about?
Well,
if I haven't heard about it, then it's fake news. That it's
No.
that you guys down here in the South are trying to make.
They just hired a
you guys
third
have buttered about our
firm.
championship, our undefeated national championship versus a 2-loss national championship season.
Go
They
ahead,
just
Jason.
hired a third firm to represent them to battle in the NCAA on the Committee on Infractions. So
They're going to have to forfeit that national championship. We all know it.
How long have you been saying that?
Well, you know it. You know it, too.
So the whole reason
No.
there's a
I'm
lot
totally
of evidence
cool.
that that's on the table for the NCAA. Why would you not negotiate a resolution already? Because if you were not going to get any games taken away or
Why
any
not get
championship
it out
taken
of the
away,
way?
you get it out of the way, get it out of the news cycle, put it past
Exactly.
you.
It's already out of the news cycle. The only one that
No,
keeps
it's
bringing it up
not.
is you.
No, not really.
You were the four-letter.
I'm looking at it right now. Yeah,
right.
I'm with you.
Hey, let me see your laptop right there.
They're going to forfeit.
Turn around. Turn around.
Forfeit.
Turn around.
Forfeit.
Turn around your laptop.
How much time we got?
Not enough.
Why do I always get a headache after certain people visit?
We should bet.
You invited him in here.
If they vacate
I
the
know it.
wins, you got to shave your head. If they don't, I'll shave my head on the radio.
Ooh.
What? What's that?
If they vacate their championship, the NCAA makes you vacate it, and you cry like a little girl, you got to shave your head. If they don't vacate,
Didn't we do that bet one time before, and who won that one?
On which one?
We had that bet a couple years ago about Michigan, Ohio State.
All right.
No,
you got to go.
I gave you
Real quick, Max
Next to
Good.
Sports Nutrition, next to Grand Cantrell's, and then you also North Pier Park next to Dick's Sporting Goods. Try before you buy it.
Yep, free sample bar, InBody 570. Come see us.
Listen to David today on the Afternoon Underdogs. They
Ryan
listened to him
back?
the other day. He did a great job. They'll be back Monday. And Leanne was on there. They did a great job. I love
You got
it.
high school baseball this weekend.
We are out 104.3 ESPN Northwest. So don't
Air
ever
Force
let
beat
him
Army
back
baseball.
in here. Don't ever let him back in the studio. Bye.
ESPN Northwest Florida is taking it to the hole. Your home for the most live college basketball on the Gulf Coast.